Fuckers, they got him. I don't know who the fuck they got arrested, but it's a nigga that be goddamn. He been going viral as hell. Goddamn, taking pictures and shit. With the police and shit. I think he one of them niggas that y'all remember that it was like this one time prison niggas got down escaped and shit like that. Like it's like 30, 40 of them motherfuckers and shit. I guess this one of them. What's over?
A 6-week manhunt, 4 escapes from custody, and a first-class flight to prison. Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090 Jake. When I'm rocking with y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're going to be speaking on the capture of Yall Wanna See, one of Louisiana's most wanted men. May 16th, 2025. 10 inmates escaped a rotting jail in New Orleans, immediately gaining national attention. An intricate plan would begin with a maintenance worker at the Orleans Justice Center cutting off the water to the cell. The inmates would force open a faulty cell door after midnight, rip the toilet from the wall, escaping through the small hole left behind, but not before writing a note for the jail staff on the way out.
Fuck up, son. Too easy, LOL. We innocent. Most hated, but chill out, fool. Is this supposed to him? Because he got that tattoo right there. Oh, yeah. Found him, dog.
One of the biggest jailbreaks in Louisiana history, committed by one of the deadliest groups. Back in April, 19-year-old Corey Boyd was with 2 friends who were pulling on car door handles, attempting to find one unlocked so they could rob it. 38-year-old Mr. Brandon Fees and his girlfriend observed them from their porch. The suspects were approaching his car, so Fees went and confronted them. The veteran would be shot, stood over, and shot again in the head before being run over by the escape vehicle. 19-year-old Corey Boyd is accused of being the driver. 27-year-old Derek Groves was arrested for attempted murder back in 2014, but would beat the case. 4 years later, Derek would spin again. It was 2018, Mardi Gras, and a group of people were gathered in front of a house in the lower 9th Ward when 2 men ran up with AK-47 style rifles and opened fire. Jamal Robinson was shot in the arm and chest, while Byron Jackson was hit in the head.
This nigga right here, y'all dumb as fuck, ho. Ain't gonna lie. Dumb as fuck.
Luckily survived. One of the surviving victims would later testify against him for shooting him 6 times. Derek would be found guilty of 2 murders and 2 attempted murders, while also pleading guilty to 2 additional murders, but a juror error would result in a mistrial. Derek Groves has been connected to 4 violent killings, and he is the only remaining man out of 10 that's still on the run. But the most famous of the group is none other than 32-year-old Yall Wanna See. He escaped the juvenile facility, a neighboring adult jail, and twice cut off his ankle monitor before doing the race. Aside from having chess pieces tattooed on his face, Yall would receive the most attention after he started to post to social media while on the run.
I'm one of the ones that was let out of the GC. What I want to talk about today is as far as while I was in Orleans Parish Jail. I was in custody for almost 8 months.
Why are you on the internet for? You on the run for this nigga?
Like 6 months, something like that. So
I'm
asking for help from the world, from Lee Mills, Lil Wayne, Boy, Donald with Trump, I'm asking for these people. I couldn't even get a lawyer. I couldn't even afford a lawyer to prove my innocence.
Trump not helping
These
you.
posts would lead to a tip and a home being raped.
Trump not helping you, and then how's the world gonna help you before the law, nigga? How's we gonna help you? And this the law we talking about. You know what you like.
A SWAT, where officers were able to recover some of the clothing Antoine could be seen wearing in the video. Now, Antoine was asking for help from rappers and even the president, but his list of charges would make anyone say fuck him.
I was hit up for the theft of a motor vehicle and domestic abuse involving strangulation. That's what I was in Orleans Parish from. Today, what I want to talk about is that I was on second-degree kidnapping, second-degree rape, domestic abuse battery involving strangulation, domestic abuse battery, violation of protected order rights.
With domestic abuse charges in one county, he was being held in New Orleans on another case of domestic abuse as well as car theft. But Antoine also had warrants out for second-degree rape, kidnapping, domestic violence, and violating a protective order. It would seem Antoine has a history of crimes against women, which would categorize him in jail as a no-good piece of shit. Another tip would reach New Orleans police, and 4.5 hours later, Antoine was taken into custody in Holly Grove, the very neighborhood Lil Wayne grew.
Y'all taking pictures and shit, like dapping each other up and shit, like.
Weapon. Officers would take pictures with the captured suspect before rebooking him into the same jail he escaped, but they weren't taking any chances. Immediately after being rebooked, Antoine was placed in a helicopter and received a first-class flight to the Louisiana State Penitentiary. Angola, also known as the Alcatraz of the South, is a maximum security prison run like a slave plantation that's home to over 6,000 inmates. With 9 of the 10 escapees in custody, 13 additional people would be arrested for their assistance in the escape. The maintenance worker who cut off the water to the cell was arrested on suspicion, but he claimed inmates told him the cell was clogged, and if he didn't cut the water, he'd be stabbed. Others held by either cash-apping money, transporting them around the city, and giving them a place to stay. By far the deadliest amongst the 10 is Derrick Groves, and he is still on the run. Facing an eternity in prison, it's hard to imagine he's still in Louisiana, as he faces the most severe punishment, but he's also the most dangerous. And if he's gotten his hands on a weapon, surrendering peacefully might not be an option he's willing to accept. We'll just have to wait and see how the manhunt plays out. Now this was wild to see this, mainly due to the fact that people started doing parlays on who's going to be the last inmate on the run. We can expect with today's technology that everybody gets caught, and very rarely there are some people that just disappear. And it would seem like, the first thing everyone assumes, oh, he's going to go to Mexico, he's going to go to Mexico. The border has so much heat right now, I don't know if that's the smartest thing you can do. You might be better off just going to the swamps or going to the woods and just living off the land, but you have to know how to do so. And everyone that got captured pretty much got captured in New Orleans. Nobody really left the city. You know what I mean? So it's like Antoine Massey was doing videos in the city, and then as soon as he dropped it, boom, they raid that house because they know exactly where he's at. Because people are telling on him. They're like, yeah, we know where he is. He's over there. We don't want him free. He's over here beating females up and this and that. Nah, get him. And then the other one, oh, he's killing everybody. Yeah, get him too. Like, the city doesn't want these people on the run. So it's really on social media, you'll see people excited, right? Because everybody likes to act like they're against the system. And, oh, the inmates escaped and, let them go, run. And it's kind of like when you think of the escape from Alcatraz. You had inmates who made floaties out of whatever material they could find in the prison, escaped, and nobody knows if they made it or not because they had to go through shock-infested waters. But it's the thought that makes everyone excited. They made movies, video games, all about that. And, you know, it's kind of the same thing until common sense and maturity kicks in and you realize, well, wait, no, these people are pieces of shit. A 19-year-old who was trying to break into a car was with a group who ended up gunning down a veteran, running him over, and while they ran him over, they hit the girlfriend with the car too, and she bounced off the hood. Yeah, that's unacceptable. A veteran who fought for this country got stood over and shot in the head because he was trying to keep 3 teens from breaking into his vehicle. That's no bueno. Then, you know, you got another guy who runs up during Mardi Gras and opens fire on a crowd of people, hits 5 of them. You know, he's doing this with an AK or a Draco or whatever he had, an AK-style rifle, 7.62s flying through the air. He opens up on a crowd of people, hits 5 of them, 2 of them died. He then connected to another 2 murders, and then he had an attempted murder from back in 2014. Yeah, he doesn't need to be...
Yeah, so I ain't gonna lie to you. Bro, that might be cooked. And bro might be cooked.
He out there. He seems to have an issue with not controlling himself. And he has a habit of killing people. We're good on that. We don't need that out here. You know, people want to enjoy Mardi Gras, not get shot at with rifle bullets. And then you have Antoine Massey, who even his own aunt made a video speaking on him.
Y'all making my nephew out to be a monster. He is not a monster. Is Antoine a problem child? Of course. Anybody who know us know that. Has Antoine been a problem since they fucking won? Yes. But how did he get that way? Y'all know how he got that way. From watching his father get executed in front of him, but he's not the only one that it done affected. It affected his sister, it affected his mama, it affected all of his siblings. Do you understand what I'm saying? It affected all of them. But this is his story with it. His sister right now is locked up and incarcerated for allegedly helping him. Allegedly helping him. She ain't been right since she seen the murder of her father. This not his fault, y'all, and I'm not taking no sides. And I'm not trying to make excuses for him. But this not for him, y'all. Because trust me, he's scared right now. He's scared. He want to go home. Because he's the type of nigga, he will make decisions and think afterwards. Because he not all there. Am I saying he don't know right from wrong? Yes, he know right from wrong. He grown. But the system raised him. He been in jail 14 years of his life. Come home, domestic violence, he back in there. All he wanted to do is see his mama who just come home. All he wanted to do is see his baby graduate. But we know that's not the way of going by doing it. In his mind it is. In his mind he can't do 14 more years. And the crazy part about it is he was the one with the lesser charges.
So while they can...
Yeah, I understand all that shit, like, for real, folks. Like, you gotta think about how motherfuckers, like, back in, like, let's go, like, how he got there. You know what I'm saying? Like, who know? But motherfuckers be knowing, niggas know right from wrong. When she said he do first and ask questions later, I understand that shit. You know what I'm saying? But you know what you're doing. You feel me? So that shit still not gonna buy though, bro. No.
There can be excitement from a jailbreak. The thing is this, I don't know what the punishment is in Louisiana. In Florida, if you escape, I'm pretty sure it's like a 5 years mandatory that you get hit with. You know, so unless you got mad time, it's not worth it. Some of the guys that were in Louisiana were facing gun charges, robbery charges, whatever. You had a couple of them that could get off with a 3, 4, 5 year sentence. So if you're just gonna get another 5 year slap on top of that, you might as well not even run, because it was only 6 weeks Antoine got away. The other ones were getting caught immediately. It's not worth it. Stupid choice. And you know, as much as they want to blame the inmates, they need to blame whoever is in charge of that jail. Because you can't have a rotting facility where cells don't open correctly, it can be ripped open, you know. The jails that are the least taken care of with the worst conditions tend to have the most violence. the most access to weapons, because if you can rip toilets off the walls, you can turn that bitch into a goddamn whatever the fuck, you know? You might even be able to build a gun out of all that metal. But what I'm saying is this. That was one of the biggest wake-ups to New Orleans, and it made them look terrible. And now they have to hunt everybody down. And they have to go crazy with the punishments to set an example for their failures. But what they also need to do is invest money into that facility, because you can't keep your city safe if you can't keep it contained. But as far as Derrick Groves, there's been no word as to where he's at. I don't know. He could be anywhere. We'll just have to wait and see how this case plays out. But drop y'all's thoughts and comments in the comments section. It's 1090J. I'm rocking with y'all, y'all rocking with me. What's on that?
Yeah.
Next time.
Who knows if we're gonna get this shit out this shit, you know? But, you feel me, man? What the fuck is my screen? Hold on, folks. Yeah, I'm gonna get up out of here, though, man. Y'all be cool. How you straight?